Banana phone. Banana phone. Check one. Check one. Check one. Okay, let's banana phone this, shall we? Banana phone. Banana phone. Here we go. Check. Okay. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi. So, man, I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you. I have never been so busy in media as I've been over this past weekend. I mean, I've been like when I went out to cover Super Bowls or conventions, you're busy because there's always something to do. But this is absolutely crazy. The amount of stuff that's going on, especially with the Graham Platner stuff. It's just nuts. I don't know, like, so I can't believe, like, Friday we didn't have a show, right? So there kept being breaking Platner news, and it never stops. It never stops. It's like, holy frig. Hola, that's my friend Dana. I can't even tell you. Like, so should we recap? But we have more stuff that's breaking from in the main wire. It's just like never stops. We were working yesterday. We were working. I mean today and yesterday. It is like an embarrassment of riches. It is awesome, and it's so freaking fun. I really wish that I could like let you guys in. You know, I guess I let Allison somewhat, but let's recap. This is last week. Well, first of all, let me just play this cut because this is a very good cut. This is an older cut, but it's a good one that shows you the hold Platner has on his followers. I may have played this already, but I want to just put it down there again just to lay some groundwork.
So what's your plan for the illegals that are in this state that get free benefits?
They don't.
If you listen to what she was saying, just hear me out. If you
Hear
listen
that?
to what she was saying, at its
They don't leave. Okay, psychos. It's like you really shouldn't be offended to hear that question. Platter does a good job here pivoting the question.
core, she's angry about the exact same things you are. People are propagandized, people are misinformed, but people are not stupid. And we shouldn't treat them as such. People are angry because they know they're being screwed. They might get lied to, they might get taken in. If somebody robs your neighbor's house, you don't go over there and laugh at them afterwards. They've been taken advantage of. And that's what this is. People are being robbed. They're being robbed of their critical thinking. They're being robbed of their empathy. The answer to that is not shame. The answer to that is not anger. The answer to that is empathy and compassion.
So there you go. And you heard really the whole point of that is just his followers. You know, lie. They don't. So, and I apologize, by the way, if you're watching the video for my appearance. I didn't actually crawl out of a dumpster. I was out mowing the lawn, let the record show, in the rain, okay? Because it's now, in parts, 3 feet long, and it won't stop raining. Um, So now more texts come out. A bunch of texts come out with him texting women and sexting women, is what we're told a few days ago. And this is a problem because the scandals have been just coming fast and furious. So we got the texting scandal where he's been texting women, and the Wall Street Journal has this. They found a leaker within the Platner, or somebody who was with the Platner campaign, who's going after this guy Morris Katz, who's running the campaign. He's the like Wonder Kid campaign guy who ran Mamdami's campaign. He's a little dirtball, but so that's all happening, and here's first of all, let me show you. Let me introduce you to Morris Katz. This is him 2 weeks ago talking to Katie Tur about Platner.
Let me ask you about Graham Platner. There's a lot of hand-wringing within the Democratic Party about what to do with him because, on the one hand, he's a great speaker and he is charismatic, but on the other hand, he's got some issues in his past that have been ugly. How is he going to be able to deal with that in a general election against Susan Collins, who has proven to be a survivor?
I think that people are really hungry for candidates who aren't politicians, who are real people, working class people who understand the realities that the average American is facing right now. And they understand that when real people run for office, that embodies the good parts of it. It also embodies realities of people who've lived real lives, people who, like for Graham's instance, served a decade overseas, struggled with PTSD, had not done everything his entire life planning to run for president, like so many politicians who've lost trust. And he talks about this, and I think his is a story of redemption. And if we don't believe in redemption, then what's the point in this political project?
I want to play another candidate who is going viral. It's not Graham Platner. It's maybe not some of the Democrats like, but his campaign message is striking a chord, and this is Spencer Pratt. Here's his latest video.
Okay, we don't need to hear Spencer Pratt. You get it, right? So these texts come out, and these texts were brought by his wife to the campaign, saying they're vetting him, and she said, "Are these going to be problematic?" So you think, okay, that's going to be it, right? That's not it. Then we have last night, Maine Democratic Senator Graham Platner kept sexually suggestive account on app dubbed Predator's Paradise. Graham Platner is facing fresh scrutiny after a sexually suggestive profile tied him to what was discovered on Kick, a messaging app that had anti-exploitation groups have described as a haven for online predators and child exploitation. In other words, a lot of pervs have gone on Kick to pick young kids up on the messaging app. The account under the assumed name phustle03331 appears to mirror usernames Platner has previously used on other platforms, including the Reddit handle phustle, which Platner has publicly acknowledged belonged to him. Platner's private Instagram account also says phustle0331. The Kick profile includes a photograph of a man appearing to be Platner standing naked in a bathroom with only a towel wrapped around his waist. The image contains clearly identified tattoos matching Platner's. According to the records, the Kick account was created in 2016. That's 10 years ago. And features what appears to be when Platner was in his 30s. Discovery adds to a list of controversies surrounding Platner's online history, yada, yada, yada. So this stuff just it's not stopping with him. It keeps on coming. It keeps on happening. So then we in the Maine Wire and a bunch of people, so it's Republican Oppo Research, this is the latest Kick one that happened. Now, the sexual texts are from, like I said, you had just heard from that guy, Morris Katz. He threatened. He was an a-hole to somebody else in the campaign, this progressive chick. She said, stop threatening me. He threatened her and said, if anything happens, anything gets out, I'm going to destroy you, and yada, yada, yada. She gets pissed off, gives it all to the Wall Street Journal. So there's, having these young guns has ended up not being a great thing for them. So then last night, Platner goes out, sends his wife out. This is not the first time he's done this, to cover for him. She does this walk and talk thing on Twitter.
I don't want a perfect marriage. I want my marriage, and I want to be married to Graham. Sorry, black flies.
Well, by the way, I should have told you that, so, he was married at the time of these sexual texts with these women. And the assumption is there has been some infidelity.
I knew the man that I married is wonderful and dynamic and probably a genius. I knew the man that I married had been through an immense amount of violent, active combat. And he's been in therapy for years. I admire the fuck out of him.
Right.
So when there are news articles about our marriage, it's just extra shitty. Can I say that online? I hope I can. I don't want a perfect marriage.
So anyway, and this is like 4 minutes, but I won't play more. At one point, she's acting like an outsider, totally innocent. But she works for the campaign. She says, oh, can I say that on the internet? She swears? Oh, I don't know any better. She also then goes on to say, oh, I'm sorry this is so long. My editing team is going to kill me for this. Your editing team, huh, little Miss Innocent Wife? It is. It's crazy. Like, she's implicated just like he is. So now he's in it. Now it's gotten to the point where, and by the way, they were told, and this is the problem with running a campaign, he said there's nothing more out there. Platner said it to Mehdi Hassan, the Hamas-loving dude.
Is there other stuff out there that's going to come out now, between now and November? Is there another chat forum we don't know about? Another tattoo we haven't seen?
No. Everybody's seen all my tattoos now, and everybody's read all my internet comments. And we released everything.
Okay.
We put it all back in October.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. And look, the Republican Party is absolutely going to lie. At some point that's coming. They, said they swift voted John Kerry. They said Barack Obama wasn't an American. When it comes to the Republican Party, God only knows what they're going to come up with that isn't true. They just ran an AI-generated
thing.
They
did, yes. Ridiculous.
Yeah. So the dirty tricks, that's all going to happen.
Is there other stuff?
Just for history's sake, it should go on the record that Massachusetts Democrats had a whole bunch of swift vote grievances about John Kerry in the 70s and 80s, long before he mattered. And yes, Republicans used the birther thing on Barack Obama, who made some odd statements in the past, but that was first a weapon from the Hillary campaign. Just to correct the record. So he said there's no new stuff coming, but there is new stuff coming, and it's gotten to the point where they obviously don't want to. The left, they're his guy. He's their guy, right? So they don't want to blow him up. But it's gotten to the point now where they can't get away from it. It has hit the Sunday shows. The Sunday shows, they wanted to make a referendum on Joe Biden. On Joe and on Jill Biden. That was supposed to be it. But it is too late for that. It's too late for that. This is now a much, much bigger story. So let's just dip around here and see what the Sunday shows were doing. Senator Andy Kim was asked about this. He is the guy who gave his suit to the Smithsonian after January 6th, the insurrection of January 6th. I say that with quotes. Here the most inglorious answer, the most disgraceful answer you can give is like, oh, I'm not even really looked at that. And he goes for it.
I want to ask you about the Senate race in Maine. And the Wall Street Journal and New York Times reporting that last August, Democrat Graham Platner's wife told his campaign about sexual text messages she had found between her husband and other women early in their marriage. And they were married in 2023. The Times says Platner exchanged messages with as many as a dozen women. And his campaign said, no, it was up to 6. In a statement, Platner's wife said she feels betrayed by the ex-campaign aide who revealed the information and that the couple went to counseling. Do you have concerns about Graham Platner?
Well, first I'll say is, I've been very much focused on the crisis in my home state, so I haven't been able to focus as much on this.
Wow.
But right now, this information's out there with any campaign in the country. The character and the transparency about the different candidates is going to come out. That's part of a campaign. And the voters will decide what it is that they ultimately think in terms of their ability to trust those candidates.
What do you think?
Well, look, right now, for me, I have not met him. I've never talked to him yet.
So there you go. That's the most inglorious answer you can give. This is ABC. Wait, was this a long
Let me
one?
ask you, do you have concerns with...
Okay, no. That's Cory Booker. I want to play. I've got a longer version of this. Here's the biggest snake in the Senate, Chris Murphy.
The campaign for Graham Platner confirmed to CBS on Saturday that the Maine Senate candidate had sent sexually explicit texts to women other than his wife. This is in addition to other past controversies. Does he pass the character test?
Hello, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I have not followed this story as closely as others have, but I mean, Graham Platner is somebody that served our country. He served his community. He's also made mistakes, and he has admitted that. Character.
So, but you should know, Chris Murphy put a book, is selling a book about character, essentially. But he's stumped on this one.
Also involves standing up to people who are bankrupting and corrupting this country. And this race is going to be a contrast between somebody that has put his life on the line for this country against somebody that is literally empowering the moral hollowing out of our nation from the White House. So he certainly admitted that he has made mistakes, but I think this is going to be a pretty clear contrast in Maine.
Susan Collins does not have a fetish for Nazis, did not have a Nazi tattoo for 20 years. She's not the one who's sexting other people while she's married. She's not the one who was involved in this shady app that is used by a lot of people who like to reach out to kids. She's not the one who has the other fetish in porta potty. Like, she's not the one with those problems, Chris. Let's see, is this the long one?
One of the marquee Senate races, of course, is in Maine, where the Democratic
John Carl with Cory Booker.
Presumptive nominee, is Graham Platner. Been a lot of allegations against Graham Platner, including the very latest, a controversy that the Wall Street Journal's reported on, alleging that Platner's wife, Amy, flagged sexually explicit texts between Platner and half dozen other women to the campaign during the vetting period. And in a video posted on X, his wife Amy said they love each other deeply, they have a great marriage, and they've been getting counseling. But let me ask you, do you have concerns with the weight of all these controversies that it may jeopardize Democratic hopes to get that Senate seat in Maine?
Yeah, I have concerns. That guy has questions to answer, and that's what campaigns are for. But when I go all over New Jersey and see hundreds and hundreds of thousands of New Jerseyans losing their health care and millions more seeing their health care costs go up, as I have families who say I can't afford gas for my car and childcare for my children, I know that so much is riding on Democrats taking control of the Senate, that this election, if we do not get the votes necessary to take care of the House and the Senate, we will continue to have an out-of-control president. And I'm going to tell you right now, as he is a lame duck president, he's becoming more and more dangerous. Just look overseas at the war we're in, the lives being lost, the billions being spent, and now he is shamefully trying to crawl back and try to get us back to where we were before the war even started. This man is dangerous, and it's time that we take back the Senate, and that's what I'm focused on.
All right, Cory Booker, New Jersey, thank you for joining us.
So there you go. Cory Booker, wraps it around to getting back to Trump, but this ain't a Trump problem right now. It just simply is not. Here's Kristen Welker on Meet the Press bringing this question up.
Val, I want to ask you
First
about
he asked Val
another
Demings.
controversial candidate for Democrats. You talked about Maine, Graham Platner. I'm going to just read from my notes because I want to get it right. He's faced a series of controversies, including past posts about sexual assault, a tattoo that resembled a Nazi symbol that he had covered up right before he ran, by the way, and now sexually explicit texts with other women despite being married. Does Graham Platner pose a headache for Democrats?
Well, let me go back to Texas for just a moment. Cornyn was a beloved candidate, beloved by candidate to save Cornyn. Didn't work. He's a combat veteran, has served in multiple tours. He's a combat veteran, has served in multiple tours of duty, an oyster farmer, and I believe that sends a message to voters that he understands the working class, had to go to work every day. I think people are so worried about the future right now, they're going to look at, do I feel like this candidate is going to fight for me and what I care about? If Maine believes that through all of the controversy, as we just saw with Paxton, Platner will win.
So there you go. She might be right. She might be right. It may not matter. You heard the Platner fans. They're all they are all in for this guy. Steve Hayes of the Dispatch then follows up.
This is where people, I think, normal people watching this at home are so frustrated with the level of toxic partisanship, where you've got somebody who's, has to defend. You've got Democrats who are defending Graham Platner, who are calling him a good and decent man, and arguing that the guy with the Nazi tattoo, we really need him because he has to defeat Susan Collins, one of the most bipartisan members of Congress in the past couple decades, who voted to convict Donald Trump. But it's so important. We have to have Graham Platner. We have to have somebody who savaged military veterans, said that a military veteran who was being shot at deserved to die, who's blamed rape victims for their own assaults. And you've now got a Democratic Party rallying around somebody like that?
Yeah, he's not wrong. Steve Hayes is still occasionally right. But they are rallying around because they just can't handle it. This is on this week. This is Patrick McHenry.
But the issue in Maine, just like in Texas, is they have an unvetted candidate. And it turns out the guy with the Nazi tattoo turns out to be a pretty bad guy in Maine, which is to the benefit
that was skull and crossbones, not a Nazi tattoo.
Okay, we can quibble about whether or not how
it is literally a Totenkopf tattoo. It is the SS tattoo of preference. It is not skull and crossbones. This is not what it is. This is an SS Nazi tattoo. And this guy said, the Democrat said, oh, by the way, it's skull and crossbones. Not okay. But I'll let Patrick McHenry address it.
A Nazi tattoo.
Okay, we can quibble about whether or not how Nazi the Nazi tattoo was.
He did have the tattoo removed, so whatever. I mean,
but this is emblematic of his problems, and Maine voters will have a say about it.
So there you go. We shall see. Let me see. I just want to make sure I clear all of these. By the way, Platner was supposed to be on MSNBC, MS Now, M-Snow, some people say, and he bailed on them today. Now, that brings us to today. Today, Platner had a rally where, and this gets even more bizarre. He had a rally. The Maine Wire was there, obviously. John Featherston was there, obviously. And we pursued, the Maine Wire pursued Platner. Obviously, we want to ask him questions. So, John Featherston, and this is, I suggest that you...
At 135 Walton Street, Unit F, right beside Speckleback's Coffee in Deering Center.
What is that noise? So this is John Featherston following Graham Platner, who's on the way into the rally in Maine. At some point, Featherston is, Platner is speed walking the hell away. And it's not just Featherston, there's some others there too. But there's a bunch of Platner's self-designated security there, including a guy in a bear suit who at one point hip checks John Featherston.
Team at 135 Walton. Get out there and knock some doors, have some great conversations with people.
Graham Platner, why did you keep your wife? Graham Platner, why did you keep your wife?
Can you?
All right, John with the Main Wire, Sunday afternoon, about 1:45. Graham Platner, Santa Bello's rally has just ended. Very bizarre. Democrats can put their hands on conservative media and nothing really seems to happen. When I tried to go up to Mr. Platner and just tried to ask him some questions, I got shoved by numbers of his staff. He ran right to his car, didn't want to take any questions. This is by far the smallest Graham Platner event I've ever been to. Very, very small. Nice day, weekend day. I don't know, are the allegations against him starting to mount up and people are not supporting him? He gave a very, very quick speech. He was in and out rather quickly. Seems like there's cracks in the campaign. Check back with the Main Wire for more updates.
So it was a small event. It was really small in a tiny room. I don't know. I don't know why that was, but it was a really, really small rally there. Now, we'll see what that means. And like I said, now we've got a little bit of the rally, actually. I should probably play a little bit if we can. Of Platner. Is this Platner up here? Okay, he goes outside and talks to people for a second.
It is a system that is protected by a media apparatus that needs all of us down here pointing fingers left and right. So we never point fingers in the only direction that matters, and that is up.
So actually, the thing today was inside. So maybe that was yesterday. Anyway, he just took to, I don't even know what he took to, but he did talk to the media. He and his wife talked to the media today.
Graham, we heard Amy's video, so
No, but I shouldn't say talk to the media. He talked to somebody in the media inside this tiny room.
Amy's video last night about this situation, the story in the Times and the Journal. What would your statement be at this point?
It's no surprise to me that the establishment media outlets are just going to run gossip instead of wanting to talk about the things that actually matter in this race, which are the material realities that the Mainers are working with. These people are going to try to make this race about anything but what it's supposed to be about, which is policy. They never want to talk about policy. Amy and I have a very loving and very happy marriage. They would very much like to try to rip that apart. They're going to come after us in every awful way that they possibly can. And we're just going to keep talking about the fact that the hospitals are closing, the fact that child care facilities are closing, the fact that teachers and nurses aren't paid enough, and the fact that everybody down here continues to work harder and longer and get less. But of course, the powers that be do not want us to talk about that. And so they're going to just do gossip instead.
But the stories are true, right? About the texts?
No, this is the amazing part. The Wall Street Journal and the New York Times ran stories without any evidence besides the gossip from a former staffer. I'm sorry, that's frankly journalistic malpractice.
So the stories are true. She handed over the receipts to these people, and that's on the affairs and the sexting, and that was handed over to them by his wife. So, it just so happens that his wife is a victim of the campaign manager being a jerk to one of the staffers. But I think him saying that it's not true is only going to motivate the woman who leaked the story to provide more evidence. I mean, there is so much stuff coming out in this guy. I can't, I wish I could. I wish there was almost what we should do for the Main Wire? We should have a tier of subscription where you can be in on some of the Slack chats, because all the stuff that we've got. I mean, man, they picked one when they picked him. I mean, he's good, and I think it's okay that he's saying this, but there's a lot of stuff on this guy, and they've got it all. The Democrats started crafting Graham Platner a couple of years ago, in shaping him to run, and testing him and purging his social media as far as they thought. But Republicans must have been in on it, or other Democrats who were working for other people must have known as well and said, I'm going to put this in my pocket just in case.
We pushed back on it. They won it. They did it anyways. So,
do you have a question? So are you confirming that the messages did not exist?
What's that?
The messages, they did not.
I'm confirming that what Genevieve McDonald said in the New York Times is not true.
So you never met with her about uncomfortable, for lack of a better word, sexting messages as the campaign was going?
We talked about things in Amy and I's marriage that we've gone through over the years. We talked about that because that's our marriage, and we discussed it with the campaign. What Genevieve McDonald claims isn't true.
We'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't have suggested that. I just wouldn't have, because every time they explain something away, something else falls. The other problem is this. Graham Platner exchanged sexually explicit texts with multiple women while married to his wife, Amy Gartner. His campaign confirmed to Politico on Saturday. So they've already confirmed it. Okay. We shall see. It seems like a tough position to be in at the moment. But that's what they're going with. And it's like there's it reminds me of the Eddie Murphy, was it not Delirious? Eddie Murphy, what was the second one after Delirious? Eddie Murphy stand up. Eddie Murphy stand up. I gotta find this now. Of course, I don't have this. Eddie Murphy Raw. Yeah, when the wife discovers the husband cheating, and she says, "Why did you cheat on me?" And the husband just said, "It wasn't me." She said, "Oh my God, I saw you doing it. It wasn't me." Might as well. I know guys who've done that, who cheated on their wives, who've done that, and it's freaking worked. It's worked. I've almost, in one sense, in one case, it ended up with the woman apologizing. She caught him like red-handed. Okay, let's see. Let me go to the chat. Let's see what's going on over there. Tommy says, Supyo, East Coast, Gavin Newsom, high-powered media mogul. Extreme close-up on Tom. Is that... Hey, am I frozen? It is close-up on me. I don't know why this happens. When I move the camera sometimes, it does something. OBS does something to get closer to me. Yeah, I look wet. That's not great. Okay. Let me get back to this. Anything but a genius. Very close-up. Sorry. That is too close, Tommy. I'm sorry about that. You know what? Let me see if I can change that right now. I'll see if I can change that right now. Let's see. Okay, let me see. There you go. It's a little less close now. Mistakes are forgivable if you're a Democrat. Oh, yeah. No, they're absolutely over it. What a crock of bleep. Imagine saying this with a straight face. Yeah. Splash says, it's going to be funny if Platner is ever forced to drop out. Dems will take credit for him doing so, saying, we don't let people like this in our party, unlike MAGA. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, it's totally true. So, yeah, Eddie Murphy Raw. That's right. Thanks, Splash. Yeah, you're right about that. We had, I actually, at the meanwhile, we've been talking to each other every day all through the weekend. It was suggested that it's time to go to Cashel. Is it Cashel? What's the thing that anyway, I joined it and I've put money on it now, on whether or not somebody, when I say money, I mean $20, that Mills will get the nomination. I don't know how to gamble. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I don't even know if I did that right. So maybe I didn't put money on it. But we'll see. Here we go. Ready? Eddie. What did she say? I want a prenup. That was great. Eddie Murphy Raw was great. All right, let's go to the chat, shall we? Oh, obviously, you guys saw that Alice and I, we had a big Facebook thing on, is it North Shore, the food thing, because Alice and I, Alice did the food show today. She was back today. It was so lovely to have her back. But we did it so we went to this restaurant, a great restaurant, yesterday. And they suggested that we were lying about what they said is, so we were there for, I don't know, an hour or whatever. I had 2 Bloody Marys within this time. They said they gave me 3. It doesn't matter. Alice saw the bill and she said, she texted me because I was out with with the kids. I left the restaurant early with the boys because the little guy acts up, and so I want to give Alice a chance to like eat in peace. And she was there with my daughter, and then they brought the check over, and it said 3 Bloody Marys, and Alice texted me and said, "Did you have 2 or 3?" I said 2. 3 would be, I would consider that like you're going drinking. 2 is just kind of like having a nice soothing Bloody Mary or 2. 3 means it's on, and it was not. We got too much stuff to do to blast out Saturday that early, although it has happened. There's no doubt about that. But not yesterday. And although had she kept bringing them every 10 minutes, I also wouldn't have stopped her. But so anyway, Alice said to her, "Oh yeah, he only had 2. My husband only had 2 Bloody Marys." And the lady said, "No, he had 3. Yeah, I know." And she said, "No, I don't think he did." And he said, "Yes, no, he had 3. He had 3." And Alice said, "Well, no, he didn't. I've just texted him. He said he just had 2." And she said, "No, he had 3. I know because I made 1 and the bartender made 2." And which is not true. I can tell you, but I should have mentioned the garnishes. I had 2. One was a lime and one was 2 olives, different garnishes. So I assume that she thought that she did bring 3, unless some people say that she was just juking up the bill to get a bigger tip. But there were a lot of Bloody Marys happening around me. The guy next to me was rifling these Bloody Marys. It was a great restaurant. So Alice didn't appreciate it, either did I, that the woman was getting, the waitress was getting loud in the restaurant, telling Alice that she was wrong, and was saying, and she was loudly saying, "Okay, fine, I'll take 1 off if you want to, but he had 3." And Alice got ticked off, and then she posted about it on Facebook. We talked about it in the All You Can Eat podcast, and it's been crazy. If you follow us on Facebook, check out the action there in it's at North Shore Foodie or something. Let me see what it is. And this is even crazier. So this is even crazier. It's North Shore Eats. Listen to this. As posted in there about what happened, the owner of the restaurant then posts in there that we're lying and we shouldn't be bashing a restaurant, and he knows we're lying because he checked the videotape, the security footage of the restaurant, which is obviously a lie. So this dude's now doubling down, calling her a liar. And so we said, "All right, give us a tape." And he said, "You can text me and we can talk about this." And Alice said, "Okay, send me the tape." And now he doesn't have any video of me having 3 Bloody Marys because I didn't. So so now like he decided to come on and like slander. I'm not trying to be litigious, and I'm really not bothered at all. But they certainly had it to be called out. Anyway, listen to the All You Can Eat podcast. Alice is back. That's what we talk about. Oh, but got us thinking. Yesterday, Alice is like, "Can you imagine when Billy finds out about this?" She said, "Am I right? Am I actually this? Is it us?" I said, "No, but like my life is also content, and sometimes yours is too. And so like you tend to put a pin in things more and highlight things more once they are."
Hey, Billy from Manchester.
Hey, Billy.
Well, another tall tale from Small Tom. I mean, all of a sudden now he's Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago. I've listened to this show for a while, with and without the woman. But I mean, now we're talking about Tom, the Chicago years. When does this ever happen? All of a sudden he's a coxman in Chicago for some reason. Another fake girl with lip gloss who wants to kiss him. I mean. When does it end? And now you're forcing us to like Dana Perino, that nitwit, and Jimmy Kimmel. You want to foist them on us too.
Well,
Two
Dana.
idiots. Thanks. 41 seconds. Oh, I hate this show.
Oh, Dana. No, as a matter of fact, the woman and guy I was visiting in Chicago, her name actually is Dana. His name is Jay. And yes, I had a great time in Chicago. For some reason, it was great. Years and years we'd go there to Pippin's, to Rush Street, to Snickers Bar. Oh, we had so many good times. Yes, for some reason I had a better batting average in Chicago than I did in Mass. It's absolutely freaking true. It's just there was less attitude like that. And they, by the way, it wore off. I mean, it diminished as these relationships went on from, I was a guy on vacation who spoke fast, and they assume had a Boston accent because I just spoke fast, and Boston was in. Like, I got Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, laid a lot of nice softening bombing runs before anybody got there. But you guys know, if you've been to Chicago, they like guys from the Northeast. Abe Froman. I did see that movie in the theaters on the record show.
I don't think you're injecting GLP-1 medication.
Yeah.
I think it's estrogen.
How dare you?
Have you heard yourself?
What?
Guys, have you ever had a woman just caress your back or your face or say, give it to me? What the fuck is...
Lay it on me, she said. How dare you? She didn't say give it to me. Give it to me. How dare you?
What's going on with you? Something happened. Alice put on the big boy pants and said, listen, I got to spend time with the kids or they're going to forget who I was. And you did not step up.
Bull.
You are transitioning is what's happening. This is what we're witnessing. It's the most amazing thing. I can't believe I'm getting to see it.
That is incorrect. And no, there are some things that women do are just are awesome. I remember 1993, this woman came into the Red Hat, sat at the bar next to me and my friend were in there. The bartender was Jean. She had an incredible bosom. And this woman comes in, but she was probably 22 at the time. But I was 20. So, and the guy I was with was 19. She came in and got 2 shots of Jack and a beer and then walked out. And I thought, she's awesome. It was so rare. I mean, I understand. I didn't have sisters, so I didn't realize that girls were. Now I have a daughter and a wife, and I know that girls are, evil and there's all sorts of downsides. But back then I put them on a pedestal. So, but yeah, that's a good move. That's a good move.
Hey, Tom, it's Michael in Cincinnati.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, dude, you cannot wear a visor. No self-respecting middle-aged man should wear a visor. That is strictly reserved for older women who wear white pants and clunky jewelry from Chico's and sometimes bedazzle their visors. Please do not wear it again and do a video. I beg you. Love the podcast, but you got to get Alice back.
I know, Michael.
I'll talk to you later. Bye.
I know. We got to spend some time in Cincinnati. Was that Cincinnati where no, it was Cleveland, yeah. I got to spend some time in Cincinnati, Michael. Thank you. So here's the thing about the visor. I'm not a hat person at all, but if I wear a baseball, and the only reason I wear anything on my head is because I walk in the sun or I mow the lawn in the sun and I don't want my head to fry, my face to fry. But if I wear a hat, it swallows up all of my hair and all you see is 6.5 tons of face. I don't have a good head for hats. I look like, I'm sorry, I look like you're putting a hat on a pumpkin. It looks terrible. The visors are the best thing I could find because it didn't quite look like a hat. I know it's not cool. I'm not gonna win that. I'm not gonna have. I just don't look good in a hat. And I looked good in one hat ever. That I bought at Fenway like a long time ago. Oddly enough, the place called Shattuck Hardware had a hat that looked good too. But I look more like I need like I'm in the special classes if I'm wearing a normal baseball hat. So the visor I just wear it from the sun. There's nothing I can do. If there's another option out there, let me know. And also, and I've tried to wear like even something like a forgive me for this, like a baseball. No, I mean like a cowboy kind of hat or a different hat with a strap. But I need to have headphones on, so I'm stuck. Earbuds don't work for me. I will put the ask out there, Michael. If you know something else, then I'm willing to listen. I don't want to wear the hat. I know I don't look good. I do think for the videos that I do, which are like these commentaries, my fat face in the fact that they have to be close up because of where I have the camera, and in probably the visor, probably is a good troll for people who already hate me, because I want to beat the crap out of me when I see those. Get your fat, stupid face away. But yes, I'm looking for help. I'm throwing myself in the mercy of the court, Michael. Go Reds, okay? So leave me alone. Other than 1975, where they brutalized the Red Sox. Joe Morgan.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
I got to be candid. You two with the waitress story.
Oh, yeah.
You're two smart people, but you're not quick enough on your feet to handle that chick. That's really disappointing, because the first thing I would have said to her when she objected to, about two Bloody Marys, as I was listening to this, I'm going, "Hey, honey, I asked you 3 times for the first Bloody Mary. Maybe that's the 3 in your stupid head. I've had 2, knock 1 off. I mean, give me a break. So disappointed in you two."
Now, hold on, Steve. I hate to exonerate myself and throw Alice under the bus. I texted her that while I was at the playground waiting for her. Exactly. I texted her all that stuff, and she indicated to me at that point that she had passed that along, but then she said that she hadn't passed that along because at that point she was so pissed off that she didn't want a peaceful resolution. At that point, it was on, Steve. So that's, I must say that, yeah. At some point, Alice just, it was war. The gauntlet had been thrown, so that we were not looking for peace. Okay, let's see.
Hey, Billy from Manchester. Along with this Tallarico freak.
Yes.
In your backyard, there's that Pappas. He's on his way to win, and he's just about as creepy as Tallarico is, and nothing has been made about his campaign. I'm very worried that New Hampshire, I mean, it's gone anyways. But I mean, they have a chance. They have a chance to get Sununu back.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Look into this Chris Pappas. He's about as creepy as Tallarico, in my opinion.
I should look into it, as a matter of fact. But it's Sununu's in the primary against Scott Brown, right? So I'm a Scott Brown guy. He's been on the burn barrel famously a couple times.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
Tom, I was very distressed to hear about the side effect you're experiencing from your increase in the dose of Wegovy. Yes. You described it as finishing every evening by vomiting. That's bad enough, but do you have any idea what vomiting like that is going to do to the enamel on your dead baby teeth? You get straight to the dentist again, my friend. You're going to need some help.
I can't afford it. The vomiting has slowed, by the way. That was just initially. And by the way, Cheswick, I don't inject the Wegovy. I just take the pill, which I kind of like. Although it stopped me in my tracks today. I had my leftover veal parm from the restaurant, the Park Lunch restaurant, and it came with pasta. I could only eat the veal parm, and I was too full to whack out the pasta. Oh, I wanted that pasta. Oh.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
Your story about the obnoxious waitress had me thinking of another time when 2 of my brothers and I and our wives were having dinner at a place down in New Jersey, and the waitress completely bleeped up the order, and my brother Peter raised an objection about her performance, and she started giving us all sorts of shit, like it was bad, and and so to the point where we didn't leave a tip, and we got up and we left.
Oh,
She
man.
was that bad. And as my brother Larry, my other brother, was walking past the waitress on the way out, he said, "Yeah, we're coming back here real soon." And the waitress said, "Well, I won't hold my fucking breath." And my brother Larry, who is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your life, said, "You mean you won't hold your foul fucking breath?"
Oh,
good night.
Nice hit, Larry.
How legendary is that? Thank you.
That's great. Oh, my goodness. That is great. That is great. Okay. Let's see. Tom stole a Bloody Mary. Incorrect. They did not. North Shore Eats, it's called, yeah. We asked for the tape. The thing is, the tape will exonerate us. But, I was thinking, if they had the tape, you know, it's a win for them because this place is great. Park Lunch is like a great place. And, you know, a lot of people are coming to their defense. And it is this close up again on me? Why? But if they had the tape, they'd win no matter what. Even if they didn't, even if it showed just 2 Bloody Marys, you'd have a fat guy eating and being awkward, you know, at the very worst, you know. But the owner is just dumb, man. That was just dumb. That tape would be like Epstein files. We'll never hear again about it. Dana, unisex name, of course. Dana is a woman. Right. Visor, transition, metric, tons of face. How dare you? But it would be, yeah, there's a lot of face happening when I wear a hat. It doesn't matter. It's over. You know, I have a woman somehow mentally deranged enough to find me attractive, so I should just, whatever. She doesn't seem to care. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. All right, you ready? Let's do this together. Thank you, everybody, for being great and fun. Thanks for hanging out on Sunday. By the way, how cool is this meteor stuff and all this stuff happening this weekend? Like, I'll take this anytime. I want bizarre stuff. Even the flooding, I mean, the rains today and things. I'll take it all. At some point, I will mow my lawn successfully. But, man, I'll take these great days. Thanks, guys. See you, in a couple minutes for Patreon, folks.